Hey, Star Wars fans and Rule the Galaxy friends. It's back to Techno Pop with DDoc. It is Joe in the pilot seat. We are on chapter 333. If you're 333, we're one third of the way there. Guys, we're one third of the way there. 33.3%. Rule the Galaxy. Follow us at Rule the Galaxy pretty much everywhere. Email us, ruletheGalaxySW@gmail.com. Our good friend Brent can't be here with us this evening. Got a lot of things going on in the Brent world right now. So we are bringing on a special guest who we'll bring live here in a minute. But thanks for being with us. Thanks for being along for the ride. 333 episodes in. We're going to probably talk about a little bit of everything. Alfie says there's breaking news, so I'm excited for that. But before we get to our special guest, I'll start off with DDoc, the man from Philly. I feel like I barely get to talk to you anymore, DDoc. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I think it's been about a month since I've been on the show. I mean, I was essentially away for 2 weeks. We were away for a week. Then I had a fishing tournament. So it was a Monday to Sunday down the shore. Then I was home for 3 days. Then we were off to Meg's uncle's, and he lives in Maryland. So we were there. We went to Annapolis and everything. And yeah, we had a fun little 4th of July there. But I feel like I'm finally starting to settle back down again this week, working and, back on the podcast. I'm excited to be back, man.
We are glad to have you back, and we've been paying attention to your life vicariously through your messages and occasional pictures and everything else. Life is busy in the dock house.
It is.
So have you ever thought about getting that dock house? Isn't that's a boating term, right? A dock house?
Yeah, I guess it is actually.
Yeah, you should get that. And I just watched The Waterfront on Netflix. A lot of talks about the dock and the pier and everything else. So that was a good show. I'm going next to my breaking news man, my Dan Rather of the crew, Alfie. Open up that book of Alfie. Not only about the things going on in your life, but you said there's breaking news. I want to hear all about it.
Okay, this is just in the rumor stage. I was reading before we came on here. The guy had some evidence to back it up. Could always be fake. We do live in the age of AI and the ability to Photoshop. If it is fake, it was very, very well done fakes. But there is talk that for the 50th anniversary, Disney is currently, and Lucasfilm is currently working on 4K releases of the original trilogy, unaltered, non-special.
Oh, that would be glorious.
I could handle that. We watched.
And like I said, there were some links to show that this was the unaltered theatrical cuts of episode 4 that they were working on. Like I said, you can take it with a grain of salt. Could be fake. But why wouldn't you do it?
How much money did the Revenge of the Sith just get at movie theaters recently? Wasn't like $40 or $50 million it made in a weekend?
Mm-hmm.
So if you bring these back out and let people either watch them in the theater or purchase the physical copy of that,
right?
It's printing money right there.
Alfie, you might want to back out of this and reset or something. Something's going on with your stream. It's like bringing weird sounds and you're freezing and stuff on the screen.
All right.
Hop out, hop back. Well, while Alfie's hopping out and hopping back, I will show you. Yes, I'm drinking the.
Oh, those are out.
Yeah. I found out afterwards. Every time you buy a 12-pack, all 12 are the same can. So I have 24 cans of Princess Leia right now. So if anybody's missing a Princess Leia, let me know. I've got plenty of them. I was hoping maybe get a little variety, but variety is the spice of life, just not of Coke Zero. While Alfie's checking back in, our special guest from the Hyperspace Heroes podcast, Brown Leader, Aaron. How are you, Aaron?
Hello there. I'm great. Thanks for. I saw your tweet or your ex tweet today, and I was like, and I listened to your episode last week where you were going solo. So I was like, I gotta help my bud out, and wanted to make sure you weren't solo again this week. So
No, that was a random thing. Like everybody in the world was busy. I can tell you this. I've got a ton of stuff going on, but Alfie, DDoc, and Brent all have a lot of stuff going on in their lives. So
Mhm.
for me, it just was easy just to whip off a few questions and answers in my head and get people talking. And I'm not good at that. As I said, I'm not Steve Lawson. Steve Lawson can go 3 hours and just talk to himself. I need these guys to bounce things off of, or I'm just, yeah, I don't know what to do. But
Yeah, we had an episode one time where it was just me and DB, and his mic, he has an old computer, and he was just having tech issues, and he just dropped out, and I think I had to go solo for 30 minutes on a live stream. And um, boy, it was karma though, because I managed my way through it, and then a couple weeks later we had our 100th episode, and we had a celebrity on, and his internet kept buffering, and so he kept dropping out and rebooting. So DB had trained me to be able to just wing it and roll with it, so it was kind of a blessing in disguise. But yeah,
we
it was. I know your pain. I've been there. I
we
forget. I was pulling all sorts of stuff. I was showing my phone on camera and playing Star Wars Hunters, and I mean, I was just reaching deep. I was like, "What do I talk about?" And thankfully, the chat was active, so they were keeping me occupied. But yeah,
it's
I feel you.
amazing how much we learn while doing this, right? We're not professionals. We're just winging it, and yet we keep learning something new and different all the time. I've been working with my brother Tony, who helped us out at the Indians game with Yellow Line Productions. Again, if you need audio, video, photography done, Yellow Line Productions, Tony will take care of you. But he's going to teach me CapCut, which I've never used.
Mm.
So I'm looking forward to that. And he and I are going to work on some different things of vlogging and whatever. And now, as I showed you guys pre-show, now that my wife has gone out and bought this nice little camera for me, I'm going to start dabbling with that and seeing what I can do. And I don't know. We're on the cusp. We're on the edge of some greatness here, but we've got to learn along the way and get our lumps. So I know we've all
Yeah.
been through it, but glad you're here, Aaron. It's we don't have a ton planned. We keep talking about Spaceballs, but then none of us ever actually do anything with Spaceballs, which is okay because I'm going to throw this out there first because Alfie was very very vociferous about my tweet about I think Galaxy Quest is a better movie than Spaceballs. And he said, besides, what was it? Besides Sigourney Weaver's Rack,
Yeah, we
there's.
take that out of the equation.
But I'm not a Star Trek guy, but something about that movie and that cast really did it. I thought that it was really well done. Not to say Spaceballs was bad. It's just I would rather watch Galaxy Quest than Spaceballs. So that's my 2 cents. I'll let you guys bounce that around.
I mean, I think as far as Trek parodies go, we're big fans of the Orville. Love the Orville, and we always say it's more Trek than Trek, and because it's just I think they really nailed it with that show in terms of a kind of an homage to the original Trek and Next Generation.
Never watched it. I saw the previews for it. Never jumped in on it. So maybe I should check that out.
It's good. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. And the rumor is they're working on another season. Season 3, I forget. Season 3 gets a little PC on their topics, but and it gets a little kind of. But for the most part, the show is pretty solid.
Okay, Alfie, have you watched Orville? The Orville?
I have not, but I mean, I'm going to agree with you to an extent because Galaxy's Quest is an actual movie.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a premise of making fun of Star Trek and conventions and fans and stuff, but it's still a real movie, and it does have a really great cast. Spaceballs is like a hour and a half SNL skit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they're kind of the same, but not really.
Yeah, you're right. It is apples and oranges. It really is. DDoc, you weren't even alive when Spaceballs came out.
No.
Have you watched it actually from beginning to end ever?
No, I need to, and what I planned to do it in my little hiatus, and just didn't do it. I think I'm the one who came up. I'm like, we got to watch these different movies, and then there I am, like just going on like a freaking like 3-week vacation. I haven't gotten anything done. But then again, I did watch Man of Steel for the first time this week because I'm getting ready for
Really?
Superman. So yeah, I actually was going to bring that up to you guys at one point. So on the topic of Spaceballs and Galaxy Quest, I've never seen either of them. And I have a buddy I worked with. When I told him I haven't seen Galaxy Quest, he was talking to me about Tombstone and Galaxy Quest. And the next day, he came into work and handed me the Tombstone and Galaxy Quest DVDs and was like, "You need to watch these." I watched Tombstone, still never watched Galaxy Quest. I still have the DVDs, Chris. I will give them back to you at one point. I wasn't trying to steal them.
Tombstone. I mean, come on. Let's face it. Is there a man alive that does when that movie's on? We don't just sit and watch that movie.
Oh,
Every
since
time.
watching that DVD for the first time, it's an every time for me now. I've probably watched it at least maybe 5 times since he gave it to me. It's a great movie.
So DDoc, do you know what a huckleberry is?
Oh yeah, I could be a huckleberry. Well, I don't technically know what it is. I guess I know that line.
So huckleberry is somebody that carries the coffin.
Okay.
And so that's what he's referring to when he's like, "I'll be your huckleberry." That's the connotation that he's putting out there.
Yeah, that movie is where I was just like, I feel like I've watched a lot of Val Kilmer since I saw that for the first time. That movie was me realizing like, damn, Val Kilmer is a great actor, and like I dove more into his career. But you know, he was kind of a little bit before my time, I'd say. You know.
Yeah, I can see that.
He was making big movies when I was young, but like, you know, it's not. I had to realize and then go back and watch his stuff once I got older.
You got to see him in Heat.
Yes.
He's so good.
Oh, I watched Heat. Heat is incredible, man.
Heat is an amazing movie.
You know what one I have a hard time of his going
Well, I like
to?
that,
Go ahead.
knowing that, because when we first started this conversation, you guys hadn't seen Heat, so I'm having a positive impact. Makes me
Heat
feel
is
good
great.
about myself. Spreading great movies.
I went back to watch Willow again a while back.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't do it for me. Like when I was a little kid, when I was younger, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like Star Wars because it's got, Warwick Davis in it, and and back then it was like, oh, I'm going to be into Willow, and I started watching it, and about a third of the way through, I was like, I'm not going to finish this. I don't know. Maybe.
So, am I the only one that watched Spaceballs?
I did watch it.
Seen it countless times. Surrounded by.
You can say it here. You know how this works. We're not whatever SEC, FEC, whatever it is.
Well, there's a lot of stuff you want DDoc to experience, right?
So one thing I noticed in rewatching, and I'd never picked up on this before, but when they go to the Spaceballs gift shop, and he picks up a copy of Spaceballs, the comic book, it's a Transformers comic book that just says Spaceballs on it. I had never noticed that before.
Wasn't it on the lunchbox as well? Wasn't the lunchbox some Transformers?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess George said you're not gonna use a Star Wars comic book or lunchbox. I'm pretty sure that came down from on high.
I was reading something recently that talked about that, or not talked about the merchandise, but talked about the fact that Lucas, one of the stipulations he gave Mel was that the main character could not be dressed up like Han Solo, and so that's why he made him look like Indiana Jones. Oh. And I was like, oh, duh. That makes so much sense now.
Nice.
I found some for Christmas for the guys. I found a toy manufacturer that makes Lego versions of. They're not actual Lego, but knockoffs. But Lego versions of Eagle One, and that's what they got for Christmas, and they absolutely loved it. And it even comes with a toilet in the back.
we
Oh,
we will
that's awesome.
we will give you a reprise on this one. You're on parole. You can check it out. I'm not sure. Is it streaming anywhere?
It's on HBO, I'm pretty sure right now.
Okay.
What's that?
Spaceballs, I think. It's on something, I think.
It's on Amazon, but it's $1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like I thought I saw that it was on Max, but I may be wrong.
Well, we'll give you some time.
I'm sorry.
We still have some downtime, obviously, between now and the next Star Wars events or shows or series or anything like that. So you've got time to go ahead and check out Spaceballs, and then we'll have a full conversation about it because you're going to see some pretty much goofy Mel Brooks '80s humor related to Star Wars, and there's some times where it's really great. Like you're watching and you're like, this is incredible. And there's other times you're like, wow, that was okay.
It's typical Mel Brooks.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it really is. If you watch a lot of his stuff, there's cringe. I mean, in some of it, for sure. I mean, there's some things that don't land, but that's Mel Brooks. So what do you guys? How are you guys feeling about the Spaceballs 2 that's been announced?
Well, I'm a little nervous about it because I never saw History of the World Part 2. And the reason I didn't was because I was told it was so just blatantly politically motivated and charged that it would make you feel kind of cringy a little bit. I loved History of the World Part 1. It was silly, it was fun, it didn't really, it poked fun at everything and everybody, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go and sit down to something that's more of a political diatribe. So I didn't see that. So I'm a little nervous that Mel, in his 90s might lean that way again with this one. So I'm hoping he doesn't. I will go into it with an open mind and check it out. But that's my thoughts on it. Alfie, what about you?
It's, like you said, the first one was funny and it's good. It's really great in parts. It's not so great in other parts. And man, it's really hard to stay funny through the years. So many comedians just they lose it and they can't ever get it back. And the harder they try, the worse the outcome is. But I don't know. It's been a long time. Maybe they got some good ideas. And I mean, what else am I going to do? I can kill an hour at work and watch it. Am I going to pay money to go see it? More than likely not. Not unless it was like we all get together and go or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing that's going to make me spend money other than just doing it in a group for an event or something like that.
I would say, luckily for them with this movie, there's been a lot of people who have made great comedy content based on Star Wars since Spaceballs has come out, where it's like, if you need help writing jokes, there's plenty of people out there who can write great stuff for it. And there's plenty to make fun of since Spaceballs, the first one, has come out. So they could really have a good time with it. If
Yeah, and I was kind of feeling the same way, like Joe at first, kind of hesitant because I heard nothing but bad stuff about
Sure.
History of the World Part 2. But the one glimmer of hope that I got was when they announced they added another writer, and it's Dan Hernandez. Hi, Azalea.
What's up?
But they added Dan Hernandez to the writing crew for Spaceballs 2, and Dan Hernandez is half the writing team of Lego Rebuild the Galaxy.
Oh,
Okay.
And I thought that Dan and Benji was the other writer. I thought they nailed that so well in terms of understanding Star Wars and what makes funny, the funny inside stuff that we always laugh about, right? Star Wars. And so when I read that, I was kind of like, okay, you know what? All right, I actually my interest is peaked now, because they're getting somebody, in my opinion, that has a good understanding of Star Wars and everything that's come before it.
well, I like to hear that as well, and I did think that Rebuild the Galaxy was fun. It was, it wasn't great cinema. It was just fun silliness related to Star Wars. That's good. And DDoc, I think you're right. Between Robot Chicken and Family Guy and people like that, there's people who've done a great job of sticking it to Star Wars while at the same time honoring it. And I think they do that really well. And then I don't know if you guys have been seeing a lot of these popping up online, but it seems like my feed and probably more Instagram than Twitter has been some really funny people doing some skits, doing some little bits on. I saw the Star Wars movie and this, right? And they would make funny comments about it, or somebody goes, I think somebody recently said, "Okay, I'm going to be George Lucas pitching the prequels," and he pitched the
I saw
prequels,
that one.
and I was like, "Man, that was fantastic," because the guy was like at the end going, "Okay, but it was just really funny how well that was put together and how funny it was. It was ripping on Star Wars, but at the same time, all the inside people who know Star Wars were like, "I get that, I get that." So yeah, I think that'll be good. If they can do it that way, I'm all for it.
Love it.
Yep. Hey, I'm good. We're going to do show and tell while we're still sitting here tonight because, it's the downtime
Oh,
or
good,
whatever.
because I brought something.
Good. We all can
Nice.
check that
Oh,
out.
wow. I can't
Oh,
follow
yeah.
that.
So this is the sequel trilogy with Zori Bliss as the pilot, Y-wing, and my wife and I put this together like in a few hours. One night we were just like, you know what? We're gonna put this together. We're gonna make it happen, and it's fantastic. It's gorgeous. Now I've got a few different versions of. Are you making me big screen?
Oh
Here?
yeah, we got to see those details on that, Joe.
Oh, it's great. I mean, well, I think it's pretty sturdy for having those struts on the back. Really nicely done. It's got bombs on the underneath. It's got a cannon on top. I can actually add more bombs, and there's a rotating thing on the back here that if I twist it, bombs drop right out of the Y wing because Y wing is a bomber, kind of ship. But yeah, it's really nicely done. I got this at a garage sale. A guy who was a huge Lego collector. It was one he had not put together yet, and I think what I tell you guys, I got it for $50 at a garage sale, and well worth the $50. I can tell you that. So it was. You guys have drawn me down in this deep dark hole because now DDoc and I both went and bought the 50% off blockade. What was it?
Tan of 4.
Yeah, Dan of 4. And that's the next one we're going to put together. And you've already started that one, right?
Yeah, dude, I just did the first row of engines on it, and I'm like, wait a second, the top and bottom have more on it. I'm like, I feel like they undersold themselves on the display of that set. I mean, for $32, especially compared to Lego's New Wave, which I will get to at one point during this show because it's absolutely ridiculous what Lego is doing to their fans. But yeah, it's a great set. I mean, you cannot deny it at that price. I got the last one, so it's freaking awesome. I can't wait for you to build that, Joe, because it's such a nice display. It comes with the 25th anniversary piece as well for Lego Star Wars, so that's a nice little piece to have alongside with it. I wasn't all about this ship thing they were doing because like a lot of them I'm like what's the smaller version of the Venator that's out there right now? It kind of looks like the Venator, but it's I don't know, but it's either from Clone Wars or Revenge of the Sith. I forget, but there's a version of the Venator that's going around where I'm just like I'm not that into it. But this Tan of 4, it's like okay, they might be drawing me in on that series a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. I'm excited to do that. Alfie and Aaron, have you guys doing much Lego right now?
Not so much, really. Go ahead, Alfie.
I've bought sets, but I just don't have room for them, so I have not put them together. I still have that big R2D2 to put together, and I'm trying to make a decision because I got enough points through work to get another one. So do I get the C3PO that goes with it?
Oh,
The
yeah.
matching C3PO? Or Chopper?
Mm.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding between the two.
The chopper
Gotcha.
set looks nice, but that 3PO standing next to that would be even better.
I know.
Yeah.
But every time I look at that chopper, I'm like, it's hard to pull the trigger.
Well,
I do have a couple large sets at home. I haven't. I have Mando's N1, and I got a really good price off Marketplace. And then one of my boys got me the Mando helmet a couple of years ago, and I just have not pulled the trigger at cracking. Ever since hanging out with Scruffy and DB, I'm afraid to crack the box. It's ingrained in me now, mint on card, and I'm out of town right now, and anytime I go to a new city or different city, I'm always in my spare time. I'm shopping, and my trunk's already half full, and it's stuff. And honestly, there's only one thing in there for me. The rest of it is for the other guys. But yeah, I found this store where I'm at, and they had a whole bunch of Power of the Force and other lines, and everything was mint. All the card backs were mint, and I was just like, "That's crazy! You just don't see that in a retail environment very often." And but yeah, that Mando head, I wanna. And my son keeps saying, "You built it yet? You built it yet?" And I'm like, "I can't crack the box. I can't crack it."
I mean, that Rex
We
right there
did
is
just
gorgeous.
build that one.
You did the Mando?
Yes.
Alfie? Okay.
It's great. You got me that one.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Yeah. We just built that one.
But I got the TIE Bomber like 2 Christmases ago. Sam's Club had them on special, and I got them for all the guys. And then I had one, and what I did was I gave it to my grandson because I know he's going to crack the box,
Yeah.
and he's going to build it with his dad, and that was just as good.
Since we're talking Legos, let me ask an ethical collector's question. If I were to purchase a collection of Lego Star Wars that are already put together, would it be frowned upon for me to display those since I didn't build them?
No. Not at all.
No.
Depends on if minifigures are included, though. That's what I'll say is
Minifigures are included. I've seen the minifigures.
yeah.
We're working on it, so we will see.
Because that's where people will get is they'll be like, selling, this set or whatever, and then they'll put like 10 spaces down minifigures not included, which like a lot of people are in the Lego game where they'll get a new set, take the minifigures out, they won't build a single piece of it, put the rest back in, and then sell it. Where for me, it's like I'm the opposite. I like the ships. I like the minifigures, but people really dial in on certain details of minifigures. I do love the minifigures, but I love ships. I love the ships in Star Wars.
Yeah, I see a lot of sets on Facebook Marketplace that don't have minifigures, and they're still in the box.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know we were at the Steel City Con, which, by the way, Aaron, I would highly suggest the Steel City Con to you guys. It was, I mean, I don't know, DDoc and Alfie, we haven't talked about it, but I think we're considering going and doing that and
it's a lock.
Staying in a prison cell next time. That was on me. That was my bad.
I think we just should again, just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, we survived. I have both of my kidneys.
I mean,
it made for a good story.
Sure, I got hepatitis.
The Popeyes was excellent. It's true what they say.
I know.
But
the walk-in drive-through.
Guess where I'm? The walk-in drive-through. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm actually Saturday morning heading back to Pittsburgh. Joey's playing in the celebrity softball game of some of the Steelers players. So we're going to be back in the Berg. I'm going to go check. I'm going to make sure we all go check out that Ollie's that we found that had everything in it. But I'll crack open a couple icy lights for you, D-Doc.
There you go.
I'll do that in your honor. But Steel City had, I felt like, a great amount of product to buy, whether it was Star Wars related or what have you. And I really thought their prices were really good. And you guys were talking about the minifigs. I bought a Captain Rex and a Captain America minifig there. That guy, there were two tables, right? Of just like, he had every character you could think of from every major brand or fandom. And those to me were worth it. But you're right, dude. Like, I wouldn't buy these sets. I didn't buy this Y-wing set for Zori Bliss or Poe Dameron. You know, I got it for the Y-wing. So I'm not really into it unless it's my favorite things. So yeah, those people who do the minifigs, they are crazy. That is nuts stuff.
Yeah, I'm sad because the new U-wing they came out with has K2SO in it, and that was like my rare minifig that I had, even though it's been displayed. You know, it's funny because the don't take it out of the box stuff with Lego, it really can pay off because I still haven't built the TIE Fighter helmet, and that was retail price $60, and now it's selling for $400. Secondary market. So I'm never going to sell it, but I don't know why it sells for that much. You know what? I was watching a video on it recently and people were saying they think that people just slept on it too much when it first came out with this helmet series and not enough people got it to start. Me right away, I was like, I want to be a completionist with this series. Like, I don't have Jango Fett and Kylo Ren right now, and those are the two newest ones that came out. And I'm kind of like, hopefully, because I've never seen the Kylo Ren helmet on the shelf. I don't know if that's an exclusive to Lego.com or what, but I've never seen the Kylo Ren Lego helmet series on the shelf. I've only seen Jango in Target.
I don't know that I've seen Kylo on the shelf either.
Yeah, I thought it was just his shuttle that's out right now.
His helmet came out May the 4th as well, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a Biker Scout one, right? Isn't there a Biker Scout?
Yes. That was in the first series.
Yeah, see, that's one I missed on. Now that I've got the Rex, the speeder bike helmet is pretty sweet. While you guys are talking, I will be messing with this. I'm going to open up. Yes, DB and Scarfy will be losing their minds. I'm going to open up this Captain Rex that Alfie got for me at Target, even though my pre-order never came in. So I'll be doing this while you guys are talking. But Alfie, you said you had something to share with the class as well for show and tell.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's nothing that exciting. But, you know, I made my monthly trip to Ollie's, and they did have this hollow figure. I got it for $7.99. I was very happy with that.
Is that from the Acolyte?
It is from the Acolyte, yes.
Wow.
I would not have purchased it except for it was at Ollie's. These were way overpriced when they came out, and you know,
we got a dual unboxing going on right now.
As Steve Blossom would say, guys, I've got Rex in his plastic coffin right now. So we're opening up a Star Wars, as Steve Blossom would say. And this is Phase 1 Captain Rex. This is from the Ahsoka series. I didn't know this. I have the other one that's Phase 3 Rex. So this is Phase 1 Captain Rex. So Alfie, you keep unboxing as well. But he's a little thinner face, blonder hair. He's a shiny, definitely a shiny in this one. You can tell he hasn't been scarred up yet. Definitely a different look, but the Jag eyes look awesome on the Series 1. And then Alfie was kind enough to share with me that the reason Rex had the scar things on his Phase 3 helmet was because he liked the mouthpiece from his Phase 1 helmet.
That's right.
And he soldered that in there. I had no idea all this time. I thought it was like decorations, right? Like
same
the
with
Jag
his
on top. But
you cut it right off.
Cut it right off. Go ahead, Alfie.
Same with his chest plate in his armor.
Yes.
Is a combination of the Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Absolutely love it. While we're doing this, guys, did you guys read the article? I started to dive into it. Star Wars sequel character. There's right now a mystery thing going on in Lucasfilm where they're thinking of making a spin-off movie off a Star Wars sequel character, and they're saying it's not Rey. there's somebody else that they're thinking makes sense to do a sequel spin-off movie with the character from that. Have you guys seen this? And if so, do you have any insight, or is it just they're bluffing us when it comes to a Star Wars sequel character getting a spin-off movie?
You're honestly asking if a Star Wars movie announcement is real or going to happen or not?
Well, I mean, I guess my question would be, who the heck would they use out of the sequels that would draw enough attention to get a movie?
Finn.
Well, it's not going to be Finn because they underutilized him. They don't know
This is
how to
true.
use. Sorry, DDoc, I cut you off.
It's all good. It's all good. I kind of cut you off. My first thoughts are just Finn. I mean, I don't think they're going to make a Poe spinoff, like, I mean, I think maybe they could realize, like, man, we really screwed up the writing with this character. There's a lot of potential here. Did you see him with Star Wars Theory at that convention they just had?
Who?
John Boyega?
John Boyega was at Star Wars Theory's booth with them. Star Wars Theory gave him a lightsaber. And
No way.
yeah, John Boyega was just at a convention.
I did not see that.
Good for him. Now, I would love a story about Finn. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Finn was one of the more intriguing characters. I want to see more. I mean, he's got what a backstory to explore, right? And I mean, there's just a lot of potential there.
I mean, we don't know where he came from. We don't know his family background. We don't know where he goes from here, right? Because they had his storyline so twisted and turned across those 3 movies. He was totally different character in all 3 movies. Like what he was doing, his portrayal, and the things he was after in all 3 movies were completely different.
Oh yeah.
So you are correct, and we've talked about it on this show, Aaron. I don't think DDoc, Brent, Alfie, or myself disliked the character of Finn. We actually disliked what Disney / Lucasfilm did with the character.
Oh yeah,
of Finn.
yeah. No,
it's terrible.
We're the
What a
same.
waste.
I'm exactly the same way. I think it breaks my heart. I mean, Finn was, yeah. I mean, Finn had so much potential from the first movie, and then he just ran around like a lovesick child for the second movie, and then the third, I don't know, and it's just they tried to recover, but too late.
I'm going to expand on this a little bit. I can't think of a character in the sequels that wasn't a wasted character. Even Rey and Kylo Ren fall into the category of what was their story really about? No one really knows because it's like they were being rewritten from scene to scene. There's no consistency. When they finally hit their arcs, you were so confused by what had been going on. It's like, well, who cares at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Individually, you look at each character. I was fine with each character in the sequels. I was interested. I wanted more. It was just how they utilized them all. Like Alfie was just saying. I mean, the screenwriting and their arcs, and it was just no character bothered me except for Hux. But other than that,
Well,
I can't imagine
Go ahead,
a character that you would make a spin-off of because no one wants to come back. Why would anyone want to come back and go through that again?
They had so much success.
They made their money. Oscar Isaacs isn't coming back. He made his money. You're not going to, like he said, I don't need that money. It's not worth it. I'm probably never going to need to come back and revisit that role. John Boyega, he's pretty much said, never say never. I get that. Looking at you, Liam Neeson, but why would he want to come back? They destroyed his character. Is there story there? Yeah, there's story. I think if you were to make a spinoff, the most interesting character to make a spinoff would be like Snoke. That was the one character in the sequel trilogy that I hate what they did because he was the only one I wanted to know more about.
Yeah, and that little bit he had in the comics with Kylo and trying to twist and turn his mind in that short little
That
bit
was
of the Kylo
awful.
Ren series. Yeah, that was bad. That was not well put together at all. I as much as John Boyega and we talked about wasted characters, you have to admit that Hux, and we've talked about this. Hux went from being a guy who you're like, man, this guy could be like a Hitler in the sequel trilogy to being a pretty much just a joke in the last two movies.
But that's every character in the sequel trilogy became a joke.
It's very sad. You had wasted potential on a ginger character as well, man. Very sad.
There's not many of them.
I know.
And yeah, they just flushed that one down the toilet.
I know. So now all I have is a video game character as my representative in Star Wars, but it's okay.
Now, come on, you have Lonnie.
Oh yes, Lonnie as well. Lonnie did get Gunsmoke too, so that was pretty cool.
So he's not coming back.
No, but we all did
Hey.
like Lonnie.
So here's this character. Like I said, $7.99, and it's a bounty hunter puck. I kind of like that.
Batteries included?
I don't know. I would have to probably not. Looks like there's a little teeny tiny Phillips screw in a battery.
They better be freaking batteries included in that, man. Oh,
no,
come
no
on.
batteries included.
Come on, Hasbro.
Maybe Ollie's took them out and they're reselling them.
They are. They're on the Ollie's battery aisle. So this one I've been playing with it while we've been talking. Actually stands up very well without a base or a stand. He is very heavy. You know how a lot of them are they're not very well balanced, but Rex,
very top heavy.
Yep, Rex is very solid and dense all the way through. And I'm sitting here on the desk where we're going, standing up perfectly fine without any kind of accessory to help him up. And I've got 6-inch Black Series back there that I can't stand them up for anything. I put them on a stand and they still tip over. I don't know why, but yeah, right now DB and Scruffy are losing their minds if they knew we were doing this. And Brent also right now, Brent, I don't know if you're listening, but I guarantee you Brent's probably like, we're talking about toys and Legos and everything else. Well, so we talked about the Star Wars sequel character. I think it's just going to remain a mystery, and let's see if that ever even happens, because let's face it, Alfie, you said it, how many writers and people have been involved with Rey that, 3 other movies have already jumped ahead of what that was going to happen.
Yeah,
So.
I think they're in the step 3 maybe of a canceled Star Wars project, soon to be step 4. Look, anytime now we'll be getting that announcement.
One thing about Boyega as well at this convention, and you got to see the clip. It was funny to me because he posted it, and it was someone was filming him, but he was wearing like a COVID mask, so you couldn't tell it was him. Like, I think so he could kind of anonymously like move around the crowd, and he was playing someone in Battlefront 2, and he was smoking them in it. And like he was just like anonymously kicking ass in Battlefront 2. And it was so funny watching it because you can see he's just standing next to another person and they're playing each other in it. And you can tell by the way he's playing that Boyega plays Battlefront 2. Like, you can tell that he's good at it. And it's just funny that person's just sitting there playing against him, had no clue, He looked like he had a good time, I was like, oh, this is good to see him like having some fun at a Star Wars convention. I don't know what convention it was. I just know that I saw him with Star Wars Theory. Did you get a chance to meet him, Aaron, at ICCC?
No, he was he was kind of a recluse, actually. I mean, I saw him a little bit. They didn't schedule any time for him on the stage, on the podcast, in the podcast room. Although, like after the first day, he was. So the story was that when he showed up, he's really, because there was Mike got a lot of backlash about bringing him on, and Mike weathered it like Mike weathers anything, and I don't blame Mike for bringing him on, because I mean, look at how many eyeballs that potentially brings to ICCC, and because the guy's got a fan base, pure and simple. And we all know when you get to conventions, people, all that hatred is just online, right? It's not at the con. Everybody's chill at the cons, but he was gonna. They had him scheduled for the main stage because he was gonna do a little talk, and I guess he at first wanted to back out of that just because, again, he didn't want to bring any negativity. But once he kind of got into the vibe of ICCC, he was having a good time, from what I hear, and he even wanted to come do some podcast stage time, but we just never. They never. I don't think the times lined up where they could fit in and what he was actually available. But no, I mean, I heard nothing but good vibes. One of the guys that we did get to meet, Roger Christensen, I guess he's doing something with him. Roger Christensen is the guy that designed the original lightsaber in the movies, and so he's doing something with Star Wars Theory. And
I think, did we just lose him?
Is that me or him?
Oh, he's
No.
back now.
You're back.
Froze for 1 second.
Yeah,
sorry.
you're okay.
No. What was the last thing you guys heard me say?
You were saying that you were talking about them collaborating for something.
Yeah, I think Christian was lightsaber with Star Wars Theory or something. No, I mean, I personally, but
He just turned into a droid. Hold on, you're hold on. Something weird is going on. Wait till you hear the rebroadcast.
Yeah, when you hear that, we're gonna leave that in because I want to hear what you sound like. DDoc it. You sound like a droid.
I'm gonna blame Evmux for it. Or maybe no one just wants to hear us about this collaboration that's happening.
Maybe
Because once again you went to go into it and then it just started going like boop, 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 boop.
That's funny.
Now you're smooth.
But yeah, no. In the end, it was everything was pretty chill. Everything around Star Wars Theory was really chill, and I didn't personally run into the guy, but as far as everything went for him at the con, it was fine.
Cool. Yeah, I see clips of him and stuff, and I get why people who disagree with them, disagree with them, but I don't know. No one ever bothers me enough to be dedicating my life to hating them. You know what I mean?
When you're the biggest kid on the block in terms of viewership, you're going to get haters. I mean,
yeah.
And they're going to pick everything apart.
That's also kind of his thing, and I don't knock him for it because he's very successful at it.
Mm-hmm.
He's
but the
good
people who don't like him, who as much as they say they're not going to talk about him and they're not going to, give him anything, they talk about him non-fucking stop, and that's exactly what he plays you into doing. And like I said, that's a good, that's his business model, and he's successful at it. I don't have any problems with the guy, other than I will say he single-handedly has more influence on me wanting to pay for YouTube just so I can stop seeing his commercials. And I don't mean that his commercials are bad, but whatever the fucking logarithm that YouTube uses, it's non-stop.
I recently got YouTube Premium. I've never seen him. Is it the Theory Sabers commercials or something? Because I know that he's big into the lightsabers.
Yeah, it's like every 2 minutes. And that has nothing to do with him. That has to do with YouTube. So, it's a joke. But, yeah, I want to pay for YouTube now.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I did the 2-month free trial of YouTube Premium, and they're very smart for making it a 2-month trial. Because when you go 2 months of no commercials on YouTube, the second that trial is over, because they don't swindle you actually into the automatic subscription either. It cancels itself after 2 months. Once those commercials start rolling again, man, you're just like, I can't deal with this shit. Yeah, I'll pay. What's another $10 a month subscription? YouTube is pretty much my, main viewership when I'm on my own as it is anyway. So it's like when you realize you can watch a 30-minute video on there or something with no interruptions, it is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I need that. I watch way too much YouTube.
So, I wanted to touch on this as well. This is a topic I was thinking of. I'm not sure if you had it on your list, Joe, but I'm seeing Superman with Little Doc tomorrow. Are you guys
Mhm.
seeing? Are you guys seeing it this weekend? What's the deal? Because that's why I watched Man of Steel recently. The DC craze that they ran
Mhm.
through with Cavill or Cavill. What's the proper pronunciation of his last name? Do
I
you
don't
guys?
know.
I always call him Henry Cavill, but it's probably
I,
wrong.
Same.
go with it.
But the run with him as Superman and Ben Affleck as Batman, I didn't watch any of the DCU at all. I didn't watch any of it. So I actually just watched Superman Man of Steel uh, this week, and
Mhm.
I really liked that movie. Actually, I thought it was actually really good. It was kind of one where I finished it and was like, "What did people think of this?" Because it was different. It was it was
Mhm.
Schneider esque, very dark, like lighting on everything and like stuff like that. And then I started Batman versus Superman last night, so I was watching it and I was like, I don't think Joe would like this because it's the dark. I remember a long time ago Joe saying like, why does everything have to be dark? Like, why can't it be like, positive and bright and full color, which it looks like this new one is going to be. But what did
Yeah.
you guys think of that? Like the Man of Steel and Henry Cavill as Superman.
Okay,
Whoever
I'm
wants to
gonna
go
go.
first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Superman is my favorite comic book character, and I hated Man of Steel with a passion the first time I saw
Really?
it. I hated that movie, just absolutely hated it.
You know what you're doing now. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Every time you're saying that, you and I. Now I was talking about different things related to Captain America. We're proving Brent right.
What do you mean proving I'm right?
We're bringing in our thoughts and theories and things that we had from our past and growing up and loving a character, and it's
That's all
not.
bullshit though, because that's what gets me. This is where I have a problem with that because no, the percentage of people that are live in a vacuum that are going to go see Man of Steel and be passionate about it is like next to none.
Yeah.
So that argument is bullshit. Okay,
Okay.
your bread and butter is going to be the people who want to see Superman,
Yeah.
right? Who are going into this. I hated that movie the first time that I saw it. I thought it was a absolutely just awful interpretation of Superman. But the more times that I watched it, I liked it more and more. I really disliked uh, the Batman and Superman movie. However, if you watch the extended edition, it is a lot better. The whole Martha thing is still so fucking stupid. That is one of those things where I watch it and I'm just imagining like the people making it. Like how do you like consider yourself like really good at your job when the basis of your movie is your two main characters mothers have the same name? That is so stupid.
I
It could be 70 years of comic book lore, and all this
Uh,
crap, but that is just the stupidest idea ever. Oh,
but
your mom's name's Martha too? Oh, now we're best friends.
my brother saw that movie in theaters, if I'm not mistaken, because he called me pissed off and was just like, I don't even care if you're going to see it. I'm spoiling this for you right now. He's like, they're fighting each other and they're about to kill each other. And one of them says Martha, and they find out that their mom's name is the same, and they decide not to fight each other anymore because of that. And
It's so stupid.
I
I'm
just remember
sorry.
that when the
It's
movie came out.
just, oh gosh. And it's really not a bad movie up until then. I really liked Ben Affleck's Batman as the older, wiser, getting back into shape Batman, and he's got this vendetta. I liked all that stuff, but that and the weird, what's his name, Jesse Eisenberg,
mm,
Lex Luthor with the Jolly Ranchers. I'm just like, oh, like who came up with this? And not only did they come up with it, but like they went with it. Like this is the best we could come up with. And I
See,
get
like
what you were trying to do, but with
that's
the Facebook Lex Luthor, but yeah, that's
that's what I was wondering with the Man of Steel movie, where I was like, well, this is different. I'm like, it's not like Clark Kent is like, putting on the glasses and like hiding from Lois Lane and everything. It's like right away she knows who he is and everything like that. I'm like, was there like another Superman comic that they based this on, or did they just decide to go their own direction with that? Because I don't know Superman lore like very well at all, to be honest. Like I know the basics, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the new one.
Aaron, are you much into DC, Batman, Superman, things like that?
I mean, growing up, Batman was my guy in terms of DC, right? Spider-Man for Marvel and Batman for DC, and I enjoyed it. And I even have like a bunch of my dad's original DC comics in storage now. But I read those a lot, and um, as for the new movie, I probably won't go see it. I don't know. I think it's Nathan Fillion's haircut that's throwing me off, and for that. But it looks like it's fun. It looks like it's probably going to be a James Gunn, style film, right? Guardians of the Galaxy, but with DC Universe, which is I think probably why there's so many characters involved, and so it's probably going to be a chaotic story, like those tend to be, with some heart and some, and I don't know. I grew up on Christopher Reeve, and the new guy that's playing Superman just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't look like he doesn't look like Superman. Henry Cavill was a little closer, obviously, but I don't know if they're going to have fun with it, and that's the attitude they're taking. Good, because you need that transition. We had a lot of dark superheroes for a long time, and so there's nothing wrong with going fun again. And goodness knows this world can use a little bit of bright, colorful fun. In terms of storytelling. But no, I don't think I'm not really all that excited about it. I don't even know if I'm going to go see Fantastic Four. Movies just going to the theaters just hasn't been what it used to be for me. And I mean, like those movies, I think if the guys are going to go, I'll probably go see it with them. Like Alfie was saying about Spaceballs too. If it's a group thing. And that's part of probably why I don't really go to the movies as much. All my kids are grown, and that's who I used to take to all the comic book movies and all the Star Wars and all the, I'd always get us the Thursday night show, first showing. So they'd get to see it before their friends and all that. And it just, I don't have them around anymore to go do it.
Yeah.
So, and then I think I'm starting to get comic book movied out a little bit. Since Avengers, and that's why I'm not even. I'm intrigued by Fantastic Four, but I just don't know. I might just wait for it to hit Disney Plus.
It is definitely something that both of these movies will be. Well, I won't go see Superman this weekend because I'll be in Pittsburgh. But if Tom, Alfie, you, Brent, a few other people who will occasionally go see. If you guys haven't seen it by like next week or something, then heck yeah, let's go.
Definitely.
Let's go check that out. Fantastic Four, I'm interested in, just because it's something maybe a little new or different. It's going in a different direction than some of the other Marvel stuff that we've seen, doing that retro thing back to the 60s kind of feel. So I'm interested in that. You guys are talking about the dark stuff, and I will tell you, yeah, the Superman, Batman, the things with Affleck as Batman, they were decent, but just being a little bit more gruff. The one that got me was Robert Pattinson. Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Black movie.
Oh my gosh! I couldn't
See,
even see most of the movie.
I
couldn't
like
even
that
see it.
Why did they even bother filming anything? It was just black.
I personally really liked that Batman movie, but that's just
Really?
me. I really liked that take on it. I did. I like the Pattinson Batman.
You young pups, I tell you.
But they've been dropping the ball on the second one for how long? It's like I feel like they're Star Wars right now with the like. But yeah, it depends.
Have any of you guys ever read Frank Miller's Batman Dark Knight series.
Yes. Yes.
And so I read that in high school and absolutely loved it. Also, his Year One, Frank Miller's Year One Batman. And so when they came out with Dark Knight and all that, I was totally bought in. I loved it because they were kind of taking some cues from Frank Miller's stuff. And that you talk
Right.
about Ben Affleck as the aging Batman, and there's some really good storyline in that. If you're a comic book fan, I definitely can't recommend that enough to read those, and especially for Joe because there's so many '80s references. Um, there's tie-ins because that's kind of when the story takes place is like the '80s,
Okay.
and you'll definitely see some. There's a David Letterman type character, and there's some other stuff, and that those books are really good. And so I didn't mind all the dark stuff, and I'm okay with them like I said, taking Superman bright and fun, and maybe it's what the world needs. And but it's I'll like yeah. Anyway,
No, it's
Here's
good.
my thing. Like I said, Superman is my favorite comic book character. I cannot go, word for word with anybody about his lore because I've never really given a crap about any of that stuff. To me, Superman is a character beyond the comic books, if that makes any sense. I really just don't care. So you tell me you're making this film with all these tie-ins and references and all. I don't really care. I want, and I'll never get it again. And I've been thinking about this because I've been seeing it a lot on social media. What movie would you want to see again for the first time if you could? And I obviously we're going to be skewed to Star Wars, right? And everybody's going to pick Endgame, right? So I'm going to take those off. If I could see a movie one more time, like for the first time, I want to see the original Superman movie because that end where he's flying and the music kicks in and all that stuff. That's my character right there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hey, this has got 30 characters in it, and you have to read all these stories. I could give two flying fucks about that. I want Superman. And I know that's silly because, like I said, you're never going to get that again. But
See,
after
Go ahead, DDoc.
giving Man of Steel some time, I really connected with that Superman. And maybe 10 years from now, I can say the same thing about this movie.
Yeah. I've read that they really don't touch on like his lore in this movie. They kind of almost do like it sounds to me like they almost do a situation like Spider-Man for the newer version of Spider-Man where it's not like they showed Tom Holland get bit by the spider
Right.
or anything. It
Yeah,
sounds
I
to
read
me
that
like
interview with James Gunn, and he said we never need to see Superman's um, backstory. We never need to see the pearl necklace in Batman again. We never need to see Spider-Man getting bit by a spider.
yeah.
Which I
So
get that to an extent, but
You know
yeah.
what? In 20 or 30 years, we'll see those again. They'll say we need to refresh, and kids who are 12 years old need to see that from a new perspective or that a different way. I think one of the things that resonates me with, I used to have a hard time with being really into Superman, but as I've gotten more into Cap, whether it's Rex or Captain America, when I look at it and I think about the things that I cheer for, the things that I root for, the things that really uh, light my fire when it comes to fandom, I want to see the people who are so strong or so powerful or could choose to take that power and do wrong with it if they wanted, but morally they choose every time to do the right thing. And Superman is that way. Glosson says it all the time. Superman could run the entire world. He could just sit there and be, I'm king, I'm in charge. You all have to listen to me because I'm Superman. And he doesn't. He does the exact opposite. He tries to save cats in trees, and he tries to, save people all, he tries to do good. Captain America is the same way. The super serum goes into Captain America, and the super serum doesn't make you super good. It intensifies who you are and doubles down on what you are. And he was already a good person, so this just took him to another level of that morality and that good. And like my fandom with Captain Rex. Captain Rex always makes the right decision. He always, he always looks for the positive, and he always looks for the good. And so those kind of things are what I root for. So if you're going to make a movie about Batman, or you're going to make a movie about Superman, or any of the superheroes, or any character in Star Wars, that's going to be the one I'm going to be drawn to. I mean, that's why Obi-Wan and Luke. That's why it hurt me so bad with Luke in the sequels. Because in my opinion, Luke was always going to come through and make that choice, the right choice. And yes, I know at the end of Last Jedi, he came and made a good choice. But I don't think he would have made that choice for years leading up to it. And Obi-Wan, where he had to fudge some lines here or there or whatever throughout his history, he still wanted, he still was the moral high ground on everything he was doing. So I hope they bring more characters like that. I think we still need to go back to the days when it was the good cowboy wearing a white hat versus the bad cowboy wearing the black hat, standing facing each other, drawing in the middle of the street. So don't get me wrong. Every now and then I cheer for the bad guy, Darth Bane, things like that. But that's a rarity. That's few and far between. So anyway.
Yeah.
What's that? An Azalea versus Inslee battle right there, Alfie?
It was. Yeah. It was on the other side of the house, too.
Man, I'm looking forward to that when my kids get older.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Aaron and I have been through all those times and battles. I'm perfectly fine being a grandpa now and going, hey, let's go have some fun. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm not worried about that other stuff.
It's funny for me, like in this stage of my life, to hear Aaron talking about like how that stage has kind of just moved past, where it's like you're taking your kid to see it on like opening day and stuff like that, which like David's 8 years old, he's 8.5. Like the kids his age are very hyped on Superman right now because they've been doing a good job on the advertising for it, where they have kids talking about it, where it's like I haven't even had to talk to them about it. They know that Superman's coming out. So I'm like, for me, this is the first time I've kind of seen an advertising campaign where I'm like, they're getting kids interested in seeing this when it comes out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm excited to go see it. It's not too long either. It's only just a bit over 2 hours. So,
well, you mean it's not Mission Impossible 8, 3 hours sitting in the same spot? My gosh. Aaron, while I've got you, and I know we'll talk about this more later as I revamp Travels with Friends again, but two different things, and I know these guys will be interested in probably one and not interested in the other, but what the heck, it's we're here. Overall, what was your thoughts of ICCC, the goods, the bads, what was it like hanging out with Katie Sackhoff, all that, and then two, give me a few high points of your trip to Portugal, right? That's where you went?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because guys, have you either one been to Portugal? I have not either. So I'm very, when I think of different parts of Europe that I want to see, Portugal sounds beautiful. It sounds very cool and romantic, but I've never even considered going there. So give us a rundown on both of those real quick.
Yeah, so ICCC, it was, I enjoyed the new venue. It was at the Embassy Suites, and it was back to where the hotel and the convention area were in the same property. So podcast room was a little better located. It was right across from the main hall, which was nice. Signage was lacking, and Mike the mic guy and I were talking, and if we're lucky enough to go down again next year, we're probably going to go in on some signage together to help promote the room, because attendance was kind of like it always is in that podcast room. And just because Scruffy would kick me for not saying this, Katie Sackhoff remembered Scruffy, so I got to say that because we say that every episode. And her 15 minutes was the busiest the room got, of course, as to be expected. talking to Mike and some of the other guys, she was also one of the best celebrities they've ever had come in terms of just how easy she was to work with, and how fan friendly she was. And I even saw when she was done, because she was only there for 2 days. After they cleaned up her autograph space, she signed autographs for the whole crew, which was very cool. And so everybody that worked the show got an autograph from her, which is super awesome. Her 15 minutes, Scruffy and I got to sit in on that. That was great. That was a lot of fun. Got one question, and Scruffy got one question. And then it was the two guys from ECPC TV. We didn't really get a lot of podcasts that came in and did their time this time, which was a little disappointing. A lot of them just skipped out on their 15 minutes. So we had a lot of holes.
Hi.
And
How are you?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Mike. Hi.
I know. Jim was telling us. Jim filled us in on the back story of all that, and so. But like the new venue, I think they could have squeezed a few more vendors in the hall. The floor seemed. It feels like I've seen more vendors on the floor before, but the flow was good. The venue was good. The lineup. I got to see. Meet Brendan Wayne. That was somebody I definitely wanted to make contact with. I have one of those Gentle Giant like Mando figures that's like over a foot tall on the card back. And now my goal is to get everybody that's worn the suit to autograph it. So I started with Brendan, and he was super nice. All the celebrities, as usual, were really great. Tan Wei, or the actress that plays Tan Wei, was super nice, and she really. My son went with us, my youngest this year. He's 25, and she really latched onto him for some reason, like a grandma. It was awesome. I mean, the celebrity interviews were great, like normal. The room sales were, again, maybe because the venue was so much bigger, the hotel was so much bigger, it seemed like it was sparser. I'm not quite sure. But the venue was great for that because all the rooms face the inside lobby, and it was like 10 floors. So you just walk the floors, and go start at the top and just walk down. So it was a perfect setup for it. There were some regulars that we didn't see. I heard a rumor that there were some people that were so mad that Star Wars Theory was going to be there that they booked a bunch of rooms and no-showed.
Oh.
Really?
And I can't confirm that. I think Mike posted something about that. Somebody told me recently. I haven't gone and looked at the post myself, but and if that's the case, how childish, because my goodness, they have a great omelet breakfast station that comes with the cost of the room. I gotta say, the omelet crew were the VIPs of that show. But the really cool thing was down where the seating is for it. All the celebrities were eating breakfast. So you never know who was going to sit down next to you at the next table. So that's one of the things I love about ICCC. But no, it was good. They posted for next year, of course, and back to 3 days. I think that's where you should keep it. Just keep it nice and tight for 3 days. That's kind of ICCC in a nutshell.
Any questions on that, guys, before we get to Portugal?
Yeah.
DDoc or Alfie?
I wanted to cut him off and say that Katie Sackhoff knew Scruffy, remembered Scruffy. Because when you guys were posting your content from there, I was just cracking up because every time after it was revealed that she remembered Scruffy, it was brought up every time you guys were posting a video. I was enjoying that one.
And he deserves it. Honestly, I mean, how cool is that to have Katie Sackhoff? So he goes up to do his autograph with her because he's got this Clone Wars poster, and he's been getting all the voice actors to sign it. And so he was getting Katie's for Bo-Katan, and she started to sign, and she was looking down, and then she had to do a double take, and she's like, "Have we met before?" And he started to tell her about Chicago, and she's like, "That's right, you have the podcast, right?" And he was just, any of us would have just been absolutely floored. And, so he deserves that. So we bring it up as much as we can for
Good.
sure.
I love it.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Did
and
he buy any
she-
hammerheads?
Yes. Yes. Not as many this year, but he's getting there. He's getting close to 100. And I tried to get him. What did I try to get him started on this year? I was trying to get him to start on a new one, but I don't remember what it was. But he didn't. He didn't bite. So
Were the floor sales good? Like for that final night of floor sales, where it's like lobby sales, or did
the
they not
lobby
do that?
the lobby sales were, it was kind of smaller this year. The one day of lobby sales, it felt smaller. I think a lot of people, because of the venue being the way it was, they were just opening up their rooms. So, and then yeah, some of the rooms, a lot of people were by the final day. No, a lot of people were tapped out in terms of room sales, and there wasn't a lot left. A lot of people took off that Sunday, so they checked out. And I think we maybe had 2 rooms to go to on that Sunday night, but yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I added to my R5s quite a bit, or a handful.
Yeah,
So as I usually do.
you guys are nuts. So tell us,
Yeah.
what were you went with your wife, I'm guessing, to Portugal. Tell us about the high points of that. What
Yeah.
was the best and the most interesting part of Portugal? Because I'm getting ready to leave in 57 days for Italy again for 2 weeks. And that's kind of, my wife and I are going to go back and forth from there. But we've never looked into Portugal. So just give us a couple high points of things that people would like or didn't know about.
Yeah. So my wife, we booked a resort on the southern coast, the Atlantic, and outside of a little town called Tavira, and we have timeshare, so we booked it through that, and it was. And Portugal kind of landed on our radar because our son-in-law is Portuguese, and so his mom and his mom's parents have moved back there. That family over the years has moved a lot between Portugal and Australia, and that's actually where he was raised, and that's where he met my daughter. And but they've settled back in Portugal, so it kind of landed on our radar. So it was kind of part vacation. I just hit 30 years at work. My wife hit 39. And we were kind of like, we want to get out of the country. We're both managers. We didn't want our phones to work, so we knew we wanted to go out of the country. And so, and then with family ties in Portugal, we were kind of like, let's go to Portugal. So she booked. We wanted toes in the sand, for a week, no responsibilities. So she found this resort outside Tavira. It was really nice. It's in what's called the Algarve region, which is kind of their southern touristy region of the country. And so we flew into there and learned to navigate with the train system, because the train system there is really big.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of cool because we were in this old what used to be a fishing village. And the way the beach is set up, you actually have to take a boat out to the beach, which was kind of fun. And because the beach is actually an island, and then the channel in between is where all the boats are moored and anchored. And it was a lot of fun, very laid back culture, which we really enjoyed as well. Just about every small shop and business shuts down at 1:00, which is their lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't reopen until 2 or 2:30 or 3. And even in some of the cities, because we flew up north for a day and a half to go see the in-law family. And we went up to some of the northern cities, and even there, some of the small businesses would shut down for lunch, which was very cool. And food was good. We rode the high-speed train back down to get back to the resort. So we got to see about 2/3 of the country from that, which was fun. And overall, it was just a nice, relaxing get out of the United States. And my first day back at work, I was eating breakfast in my office, reading my email, and I realized just how relaxed it had been, and it really put some things in perspective.
All right, who did that?
That was me. Did it not mute when I put?
No,
my
Alfie,
headphones in?
I don't think you're hooked up to your headset. Actually,
I think you're hooked up to your screen. That's so funny. I heard that and I'm like,
hey, my plumber senses was tingling. That was a garbage disposal that I did.
well, Aaron, like I said, we're gonna have you. When my wife and I reinvigorate the podcast again, we took some time off. We will get you on there. We've got Dr. Squatch to talk about Italy, you to talk about Portugal, and we've got some other guests that are coming up. And then Lori and I will recap our trip to Italy. So Portugal, that's an interesting one. I've talked to other people who've been, but I've never really looked into it, and I'm sure it's beautiful. And now I was checking it out. Air Portugal flies out of most major cities of the U.S., so you can go right from a major city right to Lisbon on Air Portugal. So that probably makes it a little bit easier as well. So yeah, little travel talk here, guys. The other thing that I had related to any kind of fandom was the Indiana Jones. As Taika Waititi would say, reboot, and Free Guy. You've all watched Free Guy, hopefully. Anyway, Indiana Jones reboot. Where do we stand? Alfie, you sent over. Who are they looking at to start this back up?
Glenn Powell.
Glenn
Is that his
Powell.
name?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Chris Evans.
And Chris Evans. Those are the two they're choosing from right now.
Just let it die.
Chris Evans has not done a good thing since Endgame has happened. Chris Evans has not been in a good movie since he's been out of Marvel. No offense to him. He's the best Captain America ever. But
there is a series on Apple that he's in that is absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
It's something like Saving Jacob or Saving something like that. And he just plays a dad. He plays the dad of the main character.
Okay.
And powerful performance.
All right, good.
There we go. We got something to add to it, but
I've just seen him in these movies sometimes where I'm like, when I saw him in the one with like The Rock for Christmas, I was like, what the hell is what is going on here? And it's like, for me, it's always just more frustrating because I'm like, when people get caught in these long things where they're a character for a long time, they're like, I want to move on and I'm going to do much more with my career now. And I look at Game of Thrones, which is what happened with all the original cast from Game of Thrones in the final season. All of them wanted to move on to bigger and better things. You know, maybe you should look at the fact that you've mastered playing a character the best that anyone's ever done it and embrace it for a little bit. I know it gets overdrawn and you don't want to be put into that, you know, bubble or whatever of what you were.
Yeah.
He was really funny in Deadpool and Wolverine though as well.
There's a cameo. I will throw something out there. One, Joey faces it all the time. He used to do impressions of people every day. And then everyone said, well, you're the impression guy. And you know what Joey said? I'm going to take some time. I'm not going to do impressions for a while. And he hasn't. Now, does that affect his career? Probably. But he got tired of every time he'd walk by somebody, hey, man, you're the guy. Do the voice. And he's like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do
really
this.
Annoying.
Yeah. But you look at a few people. Kelsey Grammer played 21 seasons of Frasier Crane. 21 seasons. And he was super successful. He's made how much money playing Frasier Crane? And you know what? He can do whatever else he wants. That's fantastic work. Michael Richards, when they finished Seinfeld, first thing he said, I don't want to do any more characters like Kramer. Don't want to do any more like Kramer. Besides him getting in trouble for throwing out the N-word, what else has Michael Richards really done since Seinfeld? Why not just go and find another character or do a reboot being Kramer again? And then last but not least, let's go right back to the Star Wars world. Let's look at Mark Hamill, who wanted so much to get away from Luke Skywalker at the end of Return of the Jedi. And nobody would hire him because they said, when we hire you, it reminds us of Luke Skywalker. Great. But he did. Yes, it's just us talking Fish Extra. Thank you. That's what we do. We talk. We're Seinfeld of Star Wars podcast. But when he finally came back around to saying, he made a whole other career for himself. That's great. But the fandom, when he shows up at a convention, when he shows up at anything, and when he was in the sequel trilogy for 5 or 10 minutes, people love that. They want that. I mean, you can make an entire career off being one thing. Chris Evans could say, "Hey guys, you know what? Let's go do some side offshoot movies of Captain America right now." I have a feeling people would go to the theater and watch him.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, Alfie. What are your thoughts?
I came in hot at Chris Evans there for no reason as well. So
No,
I mean,
no, I don't
it was
know
just
anything.
it was a hot take when I said that.
I'm gonna go watch the Apple TV thing because I do like what he did at Captain America. But the best thing that I've seen him in so far is when he did his cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought that was fantastic and it was silly. Alfie,
And
let's go.
it's actually called Defending Jacob. Sorry, not saving Jacob. Defending
Okay.
Jacob.
I think Indiana Jones is dead. I wish they just let it die. It's not as popular as what you would think it is or what you believe it is. You're never going to make another good one. No one is talented enough to write it. Doesn't matter who they make Indiana Jones. Just stop. You haven't. The Last Crusade was a good ending. Should have just
It
left
was.
it alone.
Man, that was a good ending.
Everything since then has just been junk. It's not worth it. You're just tarnishing something that had a good name for a while, and now it doesn't. And I wish they just let. But it always goes back to what I say: new ideas are hard. You can't come up with anything on your own, so you think, yeah, let's make one more Indiana Jones. Maybe we'll get Glenn Powell. You think everyone thinks that he's a nice, safe actor, which he is, and his movies tend to make a nice little, bundle of money. Nothing too significant. It's a good, safe bet. It would probably be okay, but why settle for okay? You're never going to make anything great. Let it die.
I think Powell would make a good Indiana Jones. When I saw him connected to it, I was like, okay, I could see that. Which and like you're saying, Alfie, about the fact that he brings money in. I'm kind of on the opposite end of you on this, where I'm like, I like that they're like, let's stop trying to digitally enhance Harrison Ford and say like, hey, we still want to make Indiana Jones movies, which I agree. I agree, Alfie. It's like, some things you do got to just let it die, which the originals will always be what they are. But this film would come into play with a ton of scrutiny if they ever remake it. People are going to be chomping at the bit to tear it apart if it ever happens. But the thing about Glenn Powell is guys like him and girls like him. So that's the thing about him where it's like, I liked him in Top Gun Maverick. I thought he was cool. And then I've seen other movies with him in it. I watched Twister with him in it. I think he's the right guy for the role. I don't know. I don't think Chris Evans is though. I just don't think he has. I think Glenn Powell could have the humor aspect that Indiana Jones is able to have while also being badass. I don't think Evans has that. I think Evans is good as playing like a more serious character, but maybe I'm crushing Chris Evans tonight.
You
I'm
are.
not.
I'm
I'm
gonna get
not.
you a anti Chris Evans shirt.
I'm not anti Chris Evans. I've always loved him as Captain America and other stuff. I'm not anti Chris Evans, but
Okay.
I just don't think he's the right guy to play Indiana Jones.
Hey, before we close up, I don't have anything else on the list. I want to give a shout out again to Fish Extra, and you can post this up there, DDoc. Nice discussion, though. Unfortunately, my internet provider kneecapped by my limit of 2 gigs, so I had to stop watching. Hope you guys have a good night. Fish, it's Fish Extra. Thanks for showing up. We post this out there. We have no comments really besides those few, so I'm a little disheartened. You guys, you're letting me down. I love you. Get on here
someone
and talk.
said, "What's this about?" earlier. I'm not going to share his post though because his profile picture looks questionable.
Yeah, we don't need to share that. Yeah, I'm sure Aaron runs into those kind of things from time to time.
We actually never that's weird. We never get like that. We never get stuff like that. That's kind of funny. Yeah.
One time I had some guy freaking out on the left side of the chat, and I was like, "Buddy, I'm not going to keep showing your stuff. Quit messaging." And he just kept posting. Yeah. Anyway, I think they think it's going to go live, like it's going to pop up there. It doesn't. We can filter out what's going in there. Guys, we kept everybody long enough. We had a little bit of chat about nothing and everything. Alfie and I opened some stuff up. I'm sure we'll open up or show our Tantive 4s here very soon. DDoc, we can compare them on screen.
Yeah.
We need to get Spaceballs, Fanboys, and some other things watched and discussed actually as a group, and then decide if we're going to talk about Superman or Fantastic Four very soon. Anything you guys, you want to? I always go around. Anybody want to close up? I'll start with you, Aaron. Anything you want to close up and talk about before you head out?
Yeah, I think that if they don't have Alden Ehrenreich play Indiana Jones, they're really missing the boat.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
You talk about somebody, two things. Glenn Powell, he's got Running Man coming out, so I think that's really going to put him even more in the spotlight. Two, talking about somebody that can reinvent themselves. Again, another Apple series, disclaimer. Sacha Baron Cohen is in it, and I did not even recognize him. I saw his name in the credits, and I'm like, wait, who does he play? Who does he play? And I go back, and I'm like, wow. You talk about somebody that reinvented themselves, because we all know his history. And he's playing opposite Kate Blanchett in a serious drama piece, and he carries himself well.
That was him?
And yeah, that was him.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? See what I'm saying? And
I didn't even know that.
No, it's crazy. But
and what series is that? Is that the one with Chris Evans?
No, it's called Disclaimer.
Okay.
And it's on Apple. I know Joe talks about Apple all the time, and I totally back him up on it. Apple is the place to be. It really is. Their production quality and their story writing is phenomenal. Kevin Kline's in that too. Kevin Kline, a great performance by Kevin Kline, and the whole story is just kind of But anyway, no, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been fun. So I listen to you guys all the time, and you guys are definitely on my replay.
We love getting shout outs on your show too. I listen in. I love to hear you three bounce things around, and then occasionally I'll be like, "Oh, Joe said this," or "Alfie said that," or what, and I'm like, "Oh,
I do."
That's awesome. So, but we appreciate you, and you know what? We'll connect again. I know we didn't get to connect at ICCC this year. We'll connect sometime over the next 6 months and get some people together and have some kind of fun Star Wars related things. So thanks for having on here, Aaron. And you know what? You were much more amenable, easy to talk to about toys than Brent. So we'll have you on to talk about toys sometime when Brent's on here.
I was thinking about him today because I saw some Legion stuff in one of the stores I went into.
He loves his Legion, man. That is a cult religion for him. So
he does.
Alfie or DDoc, take it.
I'll go ahead. I'll say it was great to have you on, Aaron. It's taken me back to the ICCC days. It makes sense that Katie Sackhoff remembered Scruffy because we were hanging out with you guys. I was hanging with you guys for about 15 minutes until Scruffy was like, "Oh, you need to go get some beers, DDoc? Come on, hop in the car. Let's go. We'll go get them." And next thing you know, I'm in the car with Scruffy cruising over to the gas station by the Nashville airport. So,
Yep.
He deserved to be remembered. I'll say that. One thing I didn't touch on, but I'm just going to make a short statement on it. Lego is losing their way with their fans.
Oh, yes.
It's disgusting to see. Their new wave is insanely overpriced. They are charging almost double per piece count what they used to. People aren't going to buy it. We're just going to wait for the sales. So it very much reminds me of when Hasbro went to the cardboard boxes. Lego is in a phase right now where it's like they think our shit doesn't stink. Whatever we put out, you're going to buy it anyway. And people are not happy with it. Some of the biggest creators. There's a creator I follow who's in the Lego network. He gets every set for free. And, he's always reviewed them. People can be critical of people in it's called LAN, which is, the Lego, this associate network or whatever. But he absolutely tore multiple sets apart. The 501st Battle Pack that I got for $25 a couple years ago, they're releasing the same thing. It's in the yellow Clone Troopers. I forget what Legion of Clone Trooper that is. $45 now for the same exact thing. $45 compared to $25. You've got a turbo tank that is half the size of the previous ones for $160. I averaged out this series of Lego. If you were to buy each set, there's 6 sets that came out in August, and this is subtracting the $200 ATST, which is excellent. I would buy the ATST for $200. It's worth it. It's a UCS set. Your average price, if you buy the 6 sets in this series, is $92 a set. They are losing their minds. So I really hope they come back to earth, because I'm not buying them. I've become a sale searcher on Lego, just like I am on Black Series for a lot of stuff, which sucks. But it also is kind of fun because you find those deals. You know, I find the fun in collecting almost even more than just finding deals anymore, because they're getting so out of control with stuff. So hopefully they come a little bit back down to earth. That's my statement against Lego. I love you. It's like my favorite thing. It really is. It's my favorite hobby. I just hate getting gouged by these people for them knowing like people like it, and it's a pain in the ass, but whatever. Still love it, but get your shit together.
Alfie.
Yeah. So to follow that up with, it was nice talking to you, Aaron. It's good to be back doing a show. Life is crazy right now with the kids and sports and the house and
Multiple houses.
Yes, the building of the house is a level of stress I didn't know that could be achieved, but it's there. We've reached it. Like always, like DDoc said, I love finding Black Series on sale now. Very rarely buy anything for full price. It's got to be something really good like that Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And hopefully that changes.
I don't see it changing, guys. I have a feeling we're up against it for a while. Let's see what happens, but I have a feeling they're going to keep going that direction.
Well, the quality can change.
Yeah.
Make me want to buy it.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago when a new series was released, I would buy 6 or 7, if not 8 of the 8. And now most of them I have no desire to buy. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, the whole things will come down after inflation stuff. Like the companies aren't doing it. No. So it's hard to put it back in the box, whatever saying there is for that.
The toothpaste back in the tube.
It's hard to yeah.
No, I agree. And the bad thing is, you guys, one, as you can see, I've cut back to where I only buy the very limited amount of Black Series unless they're at Ollie's or unless they're my favorite character and I can't get away from it. You guys got me connected on Legos. I tried to stay out of them. Now I like them, and I'm only getting stuff I find at garage sales and on sale. So we'll see if that keeps going that direction. And the way it works is my wife loves puzzles, and she feels like this is kind of like doing a puzzle, but I like doing this as well. So it works to where we both go after that and try to finish it. But Aaron, thank you for coming. Thanks for being a part of it. Brent, we missed you. We hope everything's going well, and we look forward to connecting soon. Alfie and DDoc, great to see you guys, and hopefully we'll get a full crew back together very soon on Rule of Galaxy, where we're all going and have a lot to talk about. It's the in-between times. Spaceballs, fanboys, whatever else we're going to watch, let's go do it. Let's have some fun. And that's it for tonight. And until next time, and by the way, go check out the Hyperspace Heroes podcast where Aaron leads the way as Brown leader. Until next time, may the